The Carter House Museum was one of the museums I definitely wanted to visit on my trip to Egypt 2 years ago. Let's talk about it in this episode of Museums with Melissa. The Carter House Museum is located on the west bank of the Nile, very close to the mortuary temple of Seti I and the entrance to the Valley of the Kings. British Egyptologist Howard Carter designed and built this mud brick house in 1910. Here is where he, his patron Lord Carnarvon, and many other collaborators lived during his excavations in the Valley of the Kings and during the discovery of the tomb of Tutankhamun. After the death of Howard Carter in 1939, the house was given to the Egyptian Antiquities Department and modified for use as a rest house for inspectors. It remained this way up until 2009, when it was converted into a museum with an accompanying garden cafe by the Egyptian architect Hani El Minaawi. In 2014, Factum Art installed a replica of the tomb of Tutankhamun on the northern boundary of the property as well. The house was built around a domed central hall and contained 2 bedrooms, workspaces, a photographic darkroom, and servant quarters. When Carter lived here, the house had no running water, electricity, or telephone. He furnished it plainly with locally made furniture, his own artworks, and a small collection of his antiquities, though we have very little photographs or descriptions of the interior of the house. The house and the gardens were restored in 2021 to 2022 by the American Research Center in Egypt for the 100th year of the discovery of the tomb of Tutankhamun. I'm going to be honest here, but I found the museum a little bit lackluster, though there were a lot of contributing factors. I had just come off of an almost every single tomb in the Valley of the Kings that morning, and it was my last day in Egypt. We were also the only ones there, and were essentially following the museum guide as he turned on all the lights individually in each room as we went there. And when I discovered that most of the items in the museum were either replicas or items similar of the time, it kind of separated the actual history of that building and those who actually stayed there. The guide was also surprised that we didn't want to go see the replica of Tutankhamun's tomb in the back of the property, but we had literally just seen the actual tomb. I still recommend seeing it because it's a very sweet museum, kind of centered in the middle of this very archaeologically rich area, and imagining these sites that Howard Carter would have seen literally from his front doorstep is actually kind of amazing to think about. But you don't need to spend that much time there, and you probably are having a better chance to go see the actual tomb of Tutankhamun than the replica in the back.